Hi everyone! Today I'm doing my first requested hairstyle on my new uploading schedule, and this is the character Claire Novak from Supernatural. The braids today are especially for Mia, and I hope that she and you will like them. I've started with relatively smooth hair, and I'm using a comb to make a part on the right while using the middle of my eyebrow as a marker. Moving on, I've also made a vertical parting from the top of my head extending slightly behind the ear. With a sectioning clip, I secured the rest of my hair out of the way and onto the opposite side so that it wouldn't interfere during braiding. This style consists of 5 small box braids or cornrows. It isn't impossible to do on oneself, but I definitely have to admit that handling ultra small sections on someone else's head is way easier. So to make this a little less daunting, I decided to divide the panel of hair on my right into 5 sections beforehand. That way I'd know that at least my sectionings were relatively even. While not always visible on camera, I had a small open container of lightweight gel on my counter, and before braiding each section, I made sure to emulsify some product onto my hands and into my hair. This might not be necessary if you've got some curl and or weight to your hair, but if you're super fine and soft like me, it makes a world of difference both with grip and flyaways. I decided to work from the bottom up. Because of the shape of my head and hairline, I find that the lowest most section is my biggest challenge. I chose to fold my strands under one another, essentially forming a micro Dutch braid, and just like with a Dutch braid, I added hair into the strands on both sides of the braid as I went along. The great thing here is that you don't have to go all the way down to your ends with it, because once all of the hair is added in, it's just a small elastic at the head. Moving on up, my braiding technique changed, and this was because my sections were smaller and it was just easier for me to do something different as I came to the first real curve in my head shape. I'm still folding the strands under each other in that Dutch braid way, but I was only adding to the middle strand of the braid. For this styling approach, the side strands become sort of irrelevant as the focus settles almost entirely on that center strand. I'd cross the left under the middle, gather a whole section and add it into the center, and then fold the right under the middle and then gather another section, add to the center, and so on. I find that this method is really effective when working on narrow spaces on the head because you don't have to go through the trouble of adding to each of the side strands. By concentrating on building that middle piece, you're carrying it across more evenly and anchoring it to the head more effectively than you would if you chose a lace braid. Not to mention, it's nice not having to deal with the hassle of struggling to pick up tons of tiny sections. The pattern for the next 3 braids was the same. Cross the left under the middle, then add hair to the center strand before crossing the right under it. Add more hair to the center and then cross the left under again. Basically, you're just pulling small bits of hair into the center before weaving the left and right strands under it. As always, I'll have my braid dictionary linked in the underbar should you need or like an extended explanation of any of the techniques I've used today. When all 5 were done, I picked up a piece of hair from my crown and I used it to begin another braid that included adding in those small ponytails. The actress appears to have a wave to her hair, so here I'm just using a clipless tapered iron to try and emulate the look. I like how this tool gives body to the roots and midlines while allowing me room to maintain straighter ends. Not to mention, this iron is a pretty cheap one from Conair, but I've found that it definitely holds up against some of its more expensive counterparts, in that it's easy to use and the waves last all day for me. Last step was pulling up a section of hair on the heavier side of the part so that I could roll, pin, and tuck a piece from along my face backwards. And that was it. Hope you all liked the hair idea for today. I'm trying to fulfill subscriber requests the 3rd Friday of every month, so if you're interested in submitting a look for me to try, please check the underbar for more information. Until next time, have fun and keep braiding. Bye!